Well, greetings and salutations, test takers. This is the Series 7 Guru coming from my off-grid studio, getting our kicks on Route 66 with an explication request. This is a real good one. I'll put this in the 7, the 4, and the 9. This is from Kaplan QID 1558893. If you don't have a Kaplan Q Bank, I highly recommend it as a paid supplement. With my Guru 15 discount code, you can get over 3,600 questions in the Kaplan Series 7 Q Bank for $55.80. It's best in class based on number of performance opportunities, that's what I call practice questions, as well as the performance tracker, which easily helps you identify areas that need remediation. For that commercial, Kaplan allows me to give you free content. Look at Kaplan content like this. If you have an explication request, send it to explicationrequest@guruexamprep.com. We'll help you with any vendor. It's just easier if it's Kaplan because I can bring it up backstage. You and your spouse would like to invest in option contracts. You each have separate individual accounts with different brokers for executing your trades. The current level of contract position limits is on ABC 75,000 contracts. Okay, so again, you don't want to memorize position limits, but it's important to understand that options are derivatives. We don't want the tail wagging the dog, right? So this is to keep the stock option market from driving the stock market, right? So position limits are. Which of the following would be a violation of the contract limit? Well, a couple test questions here. One is to know the same side of the market. That alone could be a test question. The same side of the market, the bullish or buy side. We don't mean buying the option, we mean buying the stock. So the bullish or buy side of the options market is going to be long calls, where I have a choice to buy the stock, and short puts where I have an obligation to buy the stock. That alone could have been a test question to identify the bullish or buy side, because position limits apply to the same side of the market. So we first got to be able to do that. Bearish or sell side, we have an obligation to sell the stock or a choice to sell the stock. That could be a test question to identify the bearish or sell side. We don't mean selling the option. We mean the underlying again, right? Because again, the idea here is the options are the derivatives, and we don't want the tail wagging the dog. The dog is the stock, right? So anyways, that would be, boom, our buy side, long calls and short puts. Our bearish side is short calls and long puts. And we said that alone could be a test question to identify the same side of the market. Now we're prepared to move forward in the question. One thing we should know that husbands and wives are always considered to be acting in concert, right? So whenever you get a question about a husband and wife, you should combine them, right? So if he owns 6% of the stock, she owns 7%, you would say 13%. And they are subject to volume limitations under 144, for example. I joke, what's the point of getting married if you're not going to act in concert, right? Okay, now once we get that done, now we can answer the question. I like to use a matrix. So if you've been with me a while, you'll see that on the right-hand side, I have my matrix there. And so now I'm just going to plug in and see where I come up in terms of same side of the market. So there's his ABC puts. It applies to the class, which is the type and the stock, right? So ABC puts, and then, ooh, there's the wife. If I combine those two numbers, they are in violation of the position limits because that's 75,120 contracts. They're over the position limits. That is the answer to this question A. But let's look at B. B, your long calls and short calls, that's not the same side of the market. That's the opposite side. C, your short ABC calls and short ABC calls, oh, that is the same side. However, that doesn't add up to a position violation. That doesn't go over 75,000. D, your long ABC calls, and she's long the puts. That's the opposite side of the market. So hope you found that helpful. Remember, inch by inch, your exam's a cinch, yard by yard, your exam is hard. This is a question you could expect to see. Low probability on 7, but you could see it. High probability on 9 and 4. All right. If you have an explication request, send it along. If not, I will see you for the next one.